the best matchups in college football today, and what players to keep an eye on. The NFL draft offseason is fast approaching, and this is a huge weekend for college football matchups. A couple of teams will be eliminated from playoff contention. There are some Cinderella stories and a lot to watch today, and I wanted to quickly cover the biggest games I will be watching and the best matchups to keep an eye on. Let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, let's talk about the early games that should already be underway by the time this video releases. There are three big time teams playing, but the early window is more for scouting the best prospects. We have three top five teams playing in the early games: Miami, Texas, and Ohio State. All three are NFL draft factories and feature a ton of talent across the board. The most interesting game might be Miami versus Georgia Tech, so I'll definitely have that one on. But since the best matchups are later on today and this evening, I want to show off the best draft talent from these early games. Miami is led by Cam Ward and Xavier Restrepo, but they don't have quite as many NFL prospects as Texas and Ohio State have. Texas is loaded all over their roster, and so is Ohio State. If you watch either of these teams play, you will be watching a dozen or more future NFL players. So I've listed the most interesting names to keep an eye on. For the Bears, though, keep an eye on the offensive lines of Texas and Ohio State. Both teams are just loaded in the trenches. But today does have some big time college football matchups as well. Starting this afternoon, where Georgia will be taking on Ole Miss. This is an SEC showdown with a lot of NFL talent. At the same time, Coach Prime is leading Colorado down to Texas Tech. This is a huge game for the Buffaloes. A win here keeps their playoff hopes alive. And then this evening, we have yet another SEC showdown with Bama taking on LSU. But on top of that, we also have the Huskies traveling to Penn State, and Nevada is going to try to slow down Boise State's Heisman candidate, Ashton Genty. To me, the two SEC matchups are the biggest games of the day, but there are a lot of things to keep an eye on here. Honestly, Georgia, Alabama, and LSU should all be teams that Ryan Poles is watching with a close eye, as they are absolutely loaded in the trenches as well. I think the odds that someone from these players I have listed on the screen right now gets drafted by the Chicago Bears is pretty high. There is a lot of talent around the SEC. I've mentioned almost every player I have listed on the screen, but these are the guys I'll be keeping an eye on in tonight's matchups. A lot of talent across the board, and if the Bears don't turn things around and start winning tomorrow, I might focus even more on scouting next year's draft. Let me know if there's anyone out there you guys have your eyes on. Remember to hit the like button for me. Stay tuned. And until next time, bear down.